Now that we have our meeting link created, we're ready to move it over into Schoology. So right now I have this sample course pulled up, and I just want to show a couple different ways that you can go about creating your link for your students. As I said in the last video, it's not really worth your time necessarily to create a separate calendar event for each day. Now that the students are going to have to join your meeting every day, that they're not like with you live in person. So what we'll do first is I know that we're going to have our course introduction message. So I'll show an option for if you want to put your team meeting links in here and just give you some considerations as you're doing that. So right now, if I have my course introduction message for the week posted on here, I'm going to hit the little edit box and I'm going to just edit my settings for it. If I scroll up to the top here, ultimately, I think it would make most sense to have that live meeting link as one of the first things that the kids can see so they don't have to scroll to find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just find the first line of text that I have here. I'm just going to hit enter just to make it so it stands out. And it might even make sense to like move this so my text for the meeting links align to the right. You could also create a table or be creative with this depending how many classes you have together. So ultimately, if I just paste my meeting link, as you can see, this link comes in really messy and it's not even showing up as being clickable, like I can tell because it's just plain black text. So I don't want to just paste it into Schoology here. I just want to be thinking about how I'll do this. So one option you have, this will work if you have just like, if you don't have multiple classes of the same thing, you could just say something like, join the live class. What I do is highlight the text and then I just go ahead and paste my link in here and create this as an actual link in Schoology. And then now it turns blue and I have something that I can click on. So like I said, this works really well if you have just like one class that you don't have anything linked together with it. If you have your classes linked, which I believe most at the secondary will, there are a couple different ways to do this. The first way would be to potentially create like this as part of your welcome message, and then you would potentially have to come up with like a period one link, a period two, or and so on, or you could say live class link or something like that. You say period one live class, and then ultimately we just go in. I just highlight for period one. I have my link already. Make sure I have the whole thing. I'll go up and hit this link button, and then I'll just paste that long link from Schoology in. And then I just have to do the same thing with period two. So you could just have something like this, and I'll just scroll down and just save it just so you can see what it looks like for the students. They would have something that looks like this. You could also create potentially a table. So just to show what that looks like, depending how many different or different times you're teaching the class, like maybe you have three of the same class. I could say this could be my period one live class link. I could go to the next column and just say, all right, this is my period two live class link. And then jump over to my period three. And then I already have my period one as I did before. So I can just paste this in here. And I'll delete this extra stuff just because we won't have to worry about it right now. And we can see what it looks like with this here. But ultimately, you'll get a feel for what works best for you. So I'll just go down and hit save here just to see what it looks like. So you could have some like a table that looks like this. This will get them to their teams meeting, and then the kids in the different class periods will just know where to go. And I'll give you one more option, and this could work if you don't want your kids to accidentally click on the wrong one. What we can do, if you just go like right above where your update is or right at the top of your course, you'll see that it turns into a dotted green line. This is a trick just to choose exactly where you want your item to go. What I could do is I could just create this as its own standalone link. So if I do this, I'm going to just click on here. I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, I want to add a file link or external tool. From here, I'm going to choose that I want to create a link. Then what Schoology asks me to do is to create a link. So I'm going to paste the one that I have here, and I can give it a title. So here's where I could say, all right, you know what, this is where my period one link, or I'll say live class link is going to go. And I just know it's going to be at the top. If you have your classes linked together, you can choose who sees this link since it's kind of separate from the other stuff. So for example, if I know like I just want my level one kids to see it, I can click checkbox to keep level one separate. And then what I'm going to do is make it so it's published to these students, and then I'm going to turn it off so nobody else sees it. All right. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is choose to display on a separate page. So I'm going to just click this button to display in a new window, and I'm going to click add. Right now, only it says one section, so only my one class period would be able to see this. So they won't know if you create multiple ones that there are other ones that exist. But you could use this as a trick then, so that way you just have your kids seeing that one link at a time. Ultimately, you can choose just whatever works best for you and the way that your course is laid out for how you want those links to work.